Hello and welcome. I hope everyone is fine. In our today's lesson, we want to talk about speaking skills, that is under pronunciation, and specifically want to look at word stress. I am still your presenter, Dr. Samuel Smith. Welcome. So before we begin, I want us to state the objectives for the lesson. And in this lesson, by the end of the lesson, I expect learners to be able to identify the stressed syllable in common 2, 3, and 4 syllable English words. I also expect them to differentiate between stressed and unstressed syllables in spoken words, to pronounce intermediate level vocabulary using correct word stress with improved clarity, recognize changes in meaning caused by stress, shifts in words, apply appropriate word stress when speaking in short sentences and structured conversations, maintain correct word stress when reading aloud short texts, self-correct word stress errors after teacher or peer feedback, and lastly, use word stress accurately in classroom presentations and role-play activities. So as we start, we want to look at what stress is. You will realize that stress is the emphasis placed on a syllable in a word when being pronounced. Anytime we are pronouncing words in English, we have distinct or unique sounds that come out of the words. These unique or distinct sounds coming out of the words when being pronounced are the ones that we call syllables. So a word has a number of sounds that come from that word when it is being pronounced, and it is the syllable that we are going to look at, or the syllables that we are going to consider when we discuss stress. So anytime you pronounce a word in English, you can hear different sounds coming from the word, and like I've said, these sounds are the ones that we call syllables. So to pronounce words in English correctly, the correct syllable is supposed to be stressed, especially in words that have more than one syllable. Otherwise, we will end up pronouncing words wrongly, and we will end up conveying or bringing forth different meanings from different words away from the expected meaning. Part A, we want to start with words with 2 syllables. Words with the 2 syllables have 2 distinct sounds, or 2 syllables, like I've said. These sounds are stressed differently to bring out a different meaning and pronunciation of the words as used in English. So we are looking at what happens when we stress the first syllable in words with the 2 syllables, and what happens when the second syllable is stressed. So the basic rules are that when you stress the first syllable of the word, that word becomes a noun or a name. Then when the second syllable of the word is stressed, it becomes a verb or an action. So before we look at the syllable that is supposed to be stressed as either the first syllable to form a noun or the second syllable to form a verb, we also need to learn how to distinguish the syllables in the words before we stress them. And for us to be able to do that, we use what we call the syllable boundary. In most cases, the syllable boundary comes in form of a dot placed in between the 2 syllables. Like I want you to have a look at my examples on the screen. In this word, we are having 2 syllables. There's re, then there's a dot, there's bell, there's re, then there's a dot, then cord, there's brain, then there's a dot, then send, and many others. So you can see the first syllable separated from the second syllable using the syllable boundary, which is coming out as a dot, so that you can see very clearly that from our examples, these words are having 2 syllables. To indicate the stressed syllable in the word, We can use a number of ways. There are very many ways in which we show stress or we indicate that this word or this syllable is the one that is stressed in the word. And number one, we can make use of capital letters to show the stress syllable in the word. We capitalize either the first or second syllable depending on which syllable is stressed. And I've given an example here. We have examples. The capital letters are showing the syllable that is stressed. Then the small letters are showing the syllable that is not stressed. Like in the first example, you can see from the first example, the first syllable, which is stressed, is in capital letters. Then the second syllable, which is not stressed, is in small letters. And we agree that when the first syllable of a word is stressed in words that have two syllables, that word becomes a noun. Then when the second syllable is stressed, the word becomes a verb. So when it comes to the pronunciation of the words, these words are going to be different. They cannot be pronounced the same way based on the stress that is placed on the syllable. So like for example, in the first word, as a noun, this word comes out as record. Then as a verb, it comes out as record. The first word is record. Then the second word comes out as record. The next word, we have the first syllable stressed to give us a noun. Then the second syllable stressed to give us a verb. Then the third, we have the first syllable also stressed to give us a noun, and the second syllable stressed to give us a verb, and many others. So when you are pronouncing the words, the emphasis that falls on the first syllable to give a noun has to come out very clearly, and the emphasis that falls on the second syllable to bring out the verb has also to come out very clearly, so that you can get it the way it is supposed to be. Number two, we can also use an apostrophe. An apostrophe is this sign that you are seeing in the brackets, which is placed at the beginning of the stressed syllable. So if we are stressing the first syllable, we are going to place it on the first letter of the syllable. Like you can see, the apostrophe is up here to show that we are stressing the first syllable to make this word a noun. Then when we stress the second syllable, we are going to place the apostrophe on top of the first syllable, that is on the first letter of the second syllable. That is where we are having it on C to make it a verb. We do the same to the second example. The first syllable has letter P coming first, so we place the apostrophe on top of it, like what you're seeing on the screen. Then the second syllable starts with the S, and that is where we're going to place our apostrophe. Then this the next word, the C comes first as the first syllable. The word in that word, C is coming out first in the first syllable, so therefore the apostrophe is placed on top of that C. Then we have the apostrophe placed on D, which is coming out of the second syllable. Then I comes out as the first syllable, so therefore our apostrophe is placed on top of the I. Then C begins the second syllable, so the apostrophe is placed on top of that letter C in the second syllable. So when you read the words or when you pronounce the words, we are going to have the same sounds the way they have been used, so that you bring out the noun and the verb accordingly.